What we know is the research is pretty clear.
Business equals
If you do an
success.
employee evaluation that strictly
I had it all
focuses
wrong.
on weaknesses, there's a reason many companies have stopped doing that. They don't work.
Okay, we're gonna
That's
hold
not
you
to
to
point
that.
out that there aren't things that need to be improved, but we also need to start with strengths. So whether you're in the public sector or you're in the private sector, it doesn't matter. We're human beings and we all have strengths. And in whatever role, both personal or professional, we can use those to our advantage because it makes us happier when we do that. And so we want to pay attention to them. So it's not something that's limited to a particular group. Like one of the worst things would be, well, just our executives are doing this. What a shame, because the people who have to go do the work need absolutely to know who they are too. So I can't think of anybody who wouldn't benefit from knowing who they are and a little more about themselves in some scientific process, and then having a coach or somebody to help them think about, do they use those and how they might use them more, or if they have a challenge, how they might figure out how they could take their strength to meet that
Sounds
challenge.
NF great. So let me hold to what they're saying. So I went to their channel, and they have a bunch of videos on all sorts of the 32 different, strengths or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just grabbed a few at random. So here's 5 that I grabbed at random. It's like, here's the guy who got strategy for his number 1 thing.
Okay.
For my best ability, the guy who got strategy is actually an ESFP.
Okay.
So, but wait, now the guy just said you want to lead with your strengths. So right away, people are running to your assessment and typing themselves upside down, which is fine, but it's like, then they're going into a workplace. You got the ESFP guys like, hey guys, I got strategy. Anyways, all the options, and sorry I was late, and let's go to Pizza Hut, and I'm afraid to narrow down, but don't worry, I got strategy. It says it right here. And everyone's like, ah. Right. And Britney Spears here, she got the woo. So she's like, she comes in rocking the SF, thinking she's rocking the NF. She's like, oh yeah, I'm really good with people because I'm just fucking awesome. And I got my sloppy jewelry that's not SI jewelry. I fucking rock the woo. And like everyone's like, oh, you're not an INFJ.
Yeah, right.
And then you got these 2 guys that are lead TI, and they both are like,
empathy and harmony.
Hello. I am the one who is the empath, and let me give you the stats on harmony. This guy literally says, the way that people can have harmony is just agree with me. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. Nobody's catching this. Are we the only 2 crazy people on the planet? No one's seeing this.
Yeah, right.
And then we have the happy ESTJ at the end. She's like, I'm communication, I'm a blaster, and that's about the ratio we see.
Right. Good job. That's right. You would get it right. You are
about
good at communication.
1 out of 5 people we see are not off their rock or delusional.
The key to winning a game of chess is to always be thinking a few moves ahead. You need to be able to see the whole board, consider all of the possible maneuvers, anticipate the challenger's actions, and determine the best move possible to set you up for the win. To be a great sales representative, you have to be able to do the same thing. My strategic theme helps me to think of all of the relevant possibilities. Which opportunities should I pursue? What questions will the client ask? What if a deal falls through? What's my next offering? In short, what's my best move now? And what's my next move? I'm always asking myself these questions. As a sales rep, I have to be prepared, ready to respond, ready with an answer, and ready to act. My strategic theme helps me see the whole board, quickly weigh alternative moves, and determine the one that's best for me and my client.
Yeah, but Peter, when we met at Denny's, you didn't do that. You spent 45 minutes screwing up the order. You were late and won't narrow down and are seeing all the OE options, confusing that with narrowing down. Now, we know you're NI thinking that and wanting to do that, but in the boardroom of 100 people, you're the guy causing all the chaos and endless options for everyone, which is why you're like, strategy, I need to do that. That's me, totally me.
Yeah. Actually, I think this is a perfect example of what we are seeing, why people are typing upside down. So like that was actually like brilliant because he's literally saying, I need to know what this, what that, what this, what this, what this, what this. By the way, my questionnaire that I think I'm helping the future prepare. My questionnaire is 1,000 questions long, and I just get a bunch of shit mess from you, and that is how I am attempting to prepare for the future, which is not the right way to prepare for the future, but that is what Essie believes that it's doing.
Right.
I'm just gathering up all this shit to help myself somehow prepare for the future. It's not narrowing down.
Well, here's Brittany.
Okay.
Woo. Woo's fun. As a sales agent, my woo theme is a tremendous asset for me. To be successful at sales, I have to be good at breaking the ice and building rapport with others. I also have to be able to make a genuine connection with people. After all, there's so many competitors that they could do business with. My woo helps me to easily win new clients and make them feel comfortable working with me. I love the challenge of meeting new clients and getting to know them as I show them our products. The more I learn about them, the easier it is to find the perfect solution for their needs. When selling, I have a lot of luck when I am networking at community events and luncheons. These allow me to draw in as many potential clients as possible as I work a room. I also use my woo talents to maintain a large network of suppliers and community leaders. These contacts have sent a lot of new business my way. With Woo in my top 5, my work is extremely enjoyable and rewarding.
I can't. Okay, like I'll
Woo is in my top 5.
I can't. Like I keep hearing like Wu Tang. I'm like I can't. Like I just want to start laughing.
Oh, by the way, like, you got real good character. I hate kicking the ass of handicapped people, but I trademarked it. I registered it, so I'm ready to sue you if you take my fucking word.
Why is there TM and R?
Oh well,
you literally did different ones.
So it's like
depending on the
we spend all our time on the fucking copyright, and I get to sue you.
Copyright the word
I did.
Woo.
I have Woo.
So stupid.
That's mine. Me. Like all in on defense.
Okay, I will say, fuck you for that. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Anyways, one thing I will say about Miss Wu, I just fucking can't. This is so wrong.
I know.
I don't want to make fun of these people. This is very.
I know, right?
I'm such an asshole. Okay, but you can call me an asshole. There we go. I'm just gonna accept the tribe hate because this is so sad. I hate this.
Right.
But I will say, like, at least she knows that she's the one responsible for Vibe. I guess you could say, like, good
Not
for
bad.
her. Yeah, I would say she probably is good with Vibe. The problem with Vibe when it comes to FI, it's like I'm helping my clients and customers. I do see that with the FIs. I do see that the FIs, they think that they're helping other people, but a lot of times they're just like, well, I don't want to do that today. I don't want that. I can't move from my FI if I don't like something.
Right.
And that totally wrecks the vibe, and
Right.
you're not getting the other person what they need. You're
Right.
trying to
Because
fuck over
the
somebody else.
SCFI is like, I'm going to make myself feel good, and I'll double the side my way through it.
Yes,
and so everyone's
yeah.
feeling good because I'm feeling good.
Right,
I don't
right.
know if that's exactly the definition of what they have here for Woo.
Yeah,
you know
what the
I
hell is Woo? That's so...
mean? We'll just look that up.
Okay.
I work for an investment firm that manages portfolios for retired customers and those nearing retirement age. My clients are in a unique stage of their lives, so I rely on my empathy theme to help me understand their emotions. Many are facing major life changes, such as leaving the workplace, and they have fears about their health, their long-term care, and the final years of their lives. Often they find it difficult to voice their concerns during our financial planning discussions. Fortunately, my empathy allows me to anticipate my clients' needs and their unvoiced questions. I'm able to sense their feelings as if they were my own. I can see the world from their perspective.
Even FE there, guy.
My ability to understand their emotions enables me to build a financial plan that they feel comfortable with and explain it in a reassuring way. In the end, I not only ensure that my clients' financial needs are met, but I also form deep, trusting relationships with them so they know that I truly care.
Right?
Okay, so before you go, I want to say something because I'm like, oh, this is actually good.
Right.
Because if he believes he's the empathy guy, then he will be doing positive emotions when it comes to...
When everybody's looking.
But see, that's the problem is that, like,
Not
we're
the
on
other
camera
night-
and he's in this fake dumb suit thing. That's...
Like, who is he really
that's
in
the
real
problem
life?
is if you do follow him around with a camera, you're like, no, you don't.
No, you
you're
fucking
not.
don't.
You're not. You're just TI blocking them on the head. Like, you're not doing the empathy thing.
No.
You might be in your head thinking that you are, but that's not coming out. Like,
That's all we're saying.
it's who people are saying you are. Like, what your tribe that you've actually fucked over, what they would be like, wow, this person really didn't care at all that we were upset about XYZ. They
Right.
didn't hear us. They didn't care about what mattered to us. They were just going along their own TI thing. Like, that would be the problem. Because I would say this kind of thing might be a good idea because it's forcing the person to think that they're good at that, so then they go do that. Except if you follow everybody around, that's not what piles they're creating in
That's
their
all we're
lives.
seeing with videotyping is you'll have Stan there. He's like, no, but I really care about people. Like, I know from your point of view, you can see and feel your demon FE,
Right.
but here's a video camera of your office. 80-90% of the hours, you're going fuck you to everybody, diving in your work, because the way the TIs care about everybody is I lock everybody away for long periods of time so I can get the work done
Right.
and come across very non-empathetic. Let me show you a real empath, somebody that typed themselves as TI, by the way, and then you bring in Church Lady, who doesn't type herself as Church Lady, obviously. She's the intellectual star genius. That's what she typed herself as. You're like, this is real empathy, right? And everybody's just doing one of these.
Trademark, intellectual star genius.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Yeah, we're trademarking that shit.
When I discovered that I had harmony in my top 5, I just had to laugh. I'm a divorce attorney, so people always assume that I thrive on conflict. But that's not the case at all. It's not that I shy away from
whatever you
confrontation.
say.
It's just
I
that
don't
I find
argue with you.
conflict to be completely unproductive. My harmony helps me see that life's too short to sit around and argue. Results are only possible
Or
when we
is
strive
it?
to resolve our differences. When I work with clients, I make it clear that we can't waste time rehashing old
So
disagreements.
just agree with me.
The way forward is through compromise. I help them build consensus by bringing them to the table and discussing what they can agree on. For instance, they can always agree on what's best for their kids. Or they might agree that while the wife desperately wants to keep the house, all the husband really wants is the dog. Once we find some points of agreement, we can build on that common ground. Other attorneys in my
Wait,
practice
are you
are always
saying double
amazed at how
decide?
quickly my cases tend to be resolved. It's because my harmony guides me to steer my clients away from emotional quagmires so they can focus on the practical side of things. I try to remind them that the sooner we're done, the sooner they can move on with their lives.
That's
Sounds so blockhead. Okay, so literally it's if you agree, by the way, bonk, 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 then we have harmony. Then we have good emotions. If you disagree with me, then we have good emotions.
How are we defining these terms? I would not define these two guys as empath and harmony. Now I see that after all their blockhead work, that's what they're going for.
Of course, we
But
all are.
So that like literally the Clifton guy, the Joan guy, he's like, we want to build on people's strengths. Okay, so you're letting these two, so nobody at your fucking business is stepping in and be like, hey, dude, I think you got your thing upside down.
Yeah.
I don't think empathy and harmony are your strongest things. I think we might have a fuck off here where it's all upside down.
Yeah.
I think you're desiring that, but you're doing this blockhead shit that is then getting to that. But you're not allowed to talk about that because how somebody sees themselves is God. And and you can't call them on it because they'll then call you on your crazy ass. So everybody is just in a fucking stalemate.
And this is why we as a general species don't get results. This is why there's so much depression and all these problems. Like there's no results because you're like, well, my brain says I'm doing way more than enough when it comes to the empathy game.
Right.
Because that's in my top 5. So
exactly,
we're done here.
Exactly.
You know?
Totally.
Yeah, I don't have to work on that. That's my top 5. I'm really good at that. You know what I need to do more of, guys? I need to go block bang more. I really need to go do more block banging. And that's like that's what the brain starts.
I know.
Like, guess what? You're being run by your default programs.
Yeah.
Just so you know, that's what these things are about. That's what tests like this are about. It's like permission for saviors only.
Right.
Just
it's great to just see the sample that they're getting exactly what we're getting at scale.
right.
All right, last one. Here's an old lady that seems to be fucking relaxed.
I love it.
She's a lead blaster. As far as I can tell, maybe I have all their types totally wrong. Maybe that's totally who they are.
Nobody
What
cares.
the hell
We're
do I
doing
know?
this as
We got a lead blaster, in my opinion, and she's kind of typed herself as a lead blaster.
Sounds like a safe lady.
I am the Vice President of Strategic Development for my local Chamber of Commerce. I attend social gatherings, dinners, and other events in support of our chamber, and my communication theme is an important asset in my role. When I meet with business owners about relocating their companies to our city, it is my job to help them see all the wonderful advantages our community offers to their business and their employees. I use my communication theme to energize people and paint an exciting and vivid picture of our city. I emphasize the unique characteristics that make this such a great place to live, work, and raise a family. I love to tell stories, and the ones I tell about our community seem to resonate with people. I've lived here all my life, so I know the city's history and I have watched it grow. I love to see the looks on people's faces when something I say piques their interest. When I see that look, I know I have made a great connection with them.
I bet you fucking did. So look at the congruency in that lady, right?
Right.
So let me break this down.
Results!
Yeah, exactly. So she's like,
Sorry.
I've lived here this whole time. I'm the communicator. I run around. I make things happen. Anyway,
Yep.
here's a bunch of sensor proof, and I'm all congruent. I got communicator. That's kind of weird because for the past 50 years, I've been the communicator, and here's some proof, right? Versus this guy here, he's like, anyways, I got typed harmony. That's kind of weird because I'm a fucking divorce lawyer. Anyways, I'll just make that fit. And it's stiff, it's weird, it's incongruent, and we're like, okay, strategist who was late to his own appointment, yeah, right?
Right.
And that's what we see when not that you're allowed to look at this, but like when you look at the NF relax of somebody that sees themselves right on, how they type themselves coincidentally is identical to their life pile.